As a mixed media artist, one of my go-to supplies is watercolor. I love the flow of the water and paint across the surface of paper and fabrics. Layering slowly to add diverse marks, sheer subtle shifts, or dramatic splashes of intense color make my creative process exciting and fun. Here you can see me using my metallic palette and slowly adding colors, splashes, and marks to make this little, almost celestial painting on my journal page. These are some of the paint palettes, pans, and tubes that I use the most. To make my tube paints travel friendly, I create my own pan paints and paint palettes. To make this DIY palette, I used an old pen holder, pen case, and some bottle caps. They really come in handy for this type of DIY project. I made this paint palette like years ago. It's a Dollar Tree medication dispenser or something. I just relabeled all of the containers and then I added paint that had dried out in the tubes, and it's held up over the years, so it worked really well. Today I'll show you how I fill my half pans and a new tool I received to help me get the most pigment from my paint tubes. To get started, I grabbed my tool, I grabbed some student grade watercolor tubes, and some empty half pans. This will be my first time putting it together, filling half pans and seeing how it works. And it comes with like a few other things. I wasn't sure like what they were, but these are like hand grips or things to put on the handles of the squeezer. It also comes with a really thick rubber band and a binder clip. I kind of had a hard time getting the grips on, but once they're on, they work really well. The rubber band is supposed to hold the squeezer in place, but I don't really need it for this. And also the binder clip, it's supposed to hold your tube, but for these purposes, I really don't need those. Okay, so this is my first time using this. I was gonna I was gonna check it out and try it off screen first, like not record it the first time I used it, but I was like, hey, you know, people might like seeing it go sideways, so so turning the tool, it's super easy. I just have to get used to it, and it squeezes right into the pan. It's excellent. And I'm glad I got the metal one. There's some plastic ones, but I like the metal because it's a little more sturdy. I thought it would be a little more sturdy, and it is. Okay, so there I was just tapping the paint pan so that the paint could fall to the bottom of the pan, and then mixing it with a toothpick so that it will blend with the binder with the paint, and it'll be nicely blended together as it sits and dries. And so I'm going to see how much I can get out of this yellow tube. So I use the back of another tool to squeeze out my paint, but I was like, maybe I'll see if it will get some more paint out of this thing. Now this tube has a pinhole. Somehow it cracked, so it has like a tiny hole in it. It came out. The paint in it was starting to dry out, so I'm so glad I tried this one so I can get the paint out of there before it dries out. And it did squeeze out a little bit from the side, and that's okay. I blended it in the half pan with a toothpick, and you could see how it did start to come out a little bit, but I got a ton more paint. I just have to be careful not to get the tool too dirty. So, but yeah, I liked how that worked. Now I'm showing you how I replaced the half pans in my travel size watercolor palette. You just pop out the old one and then pop in the new, more filled pan. It's a different color, but that's great. It's gonna work out fine. This is my Audiio watercolor palette, and I added some half pans to the center space in the center. It's usually for watercolor brushes, but I use it for additional paint. I've got a yellow, a red, a blue, and a neutral. And these are the two paints that I have in there. And I just wanted to give you a look at how I use them. So once you set them aside for a few days to a week or so, as long as they're dry, you can close up your watercolor palette and you just re-wet them with a drop of water or mist of water, and you let them sit for like, maybe a minute. And here I'm just opening up my art journal junk journal that I made. I'm like, yay, I haven't even used this yet. I was like, I totally forgot I made this. Oh boy. Okay, so now I'm just setting it up so you can see, and this is what it looks like. They look fine. Once the paint's dry and they're in your palette, they work just like the other store-bought paint pans. I haven't run into any problems making these, so, and they're great. You can take them out, like if I want to take these out and put them in my other small watercolor palette, it will work fine. So I love the versatility of switching out different colors, making your own palettes. It's really awesome. Thank you for joining me in this week's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and I'll see you next time.